All right, welcome and thank you very much. Thank you for coming to our channel. We understand the booze behind the Binance listing Pi network, and some users believe that listing on Binance would be the beginning of a smooth journey for Pi rather than the peak. While others also have the fear that it's going to turn into a seller's market, leading to a significant price drop. But then if we go on the coin market cap, just like we have right before us, we could see that the Bitcoin is down in the last 24 hours, Ethereum also the same thing, and you could see them down the trend there to number 7. USDC is also down. Majority of these tokens and coins are down. But then on number 11, if you check the Pi there, you see, I beg your pardon, just a little bit. See, the Pi network is also still down. If you click on it, it's currently trading at $1.39 at the moment. And if you scroll up a little bit, you see the market cap for Pi is $10.5 billion, and we have the volume $520 million, the FDV 139, the volume is 5.2%, and the total supply we have 100 billion Pi, and the maximum there is we have 100 billion Pi. The circulating supply is 7.22 billion Pi. All right, so what does this actually suggest for us? We have the optimistic view, but before then, if you look at the chart here, you could see that some corrections are still being made. Now, this, as it is dipping right now, it does not mean that you have to sell. On my own point of view, if you take my advice, you are to hold your Pi, except you have in quantum and possibly you want to sell some for to take profit. But then I just wish to advise that possibly you can hold on. Yes, we have different kinds of view: the optimistic view of certain people, the skeptical view of beg your pardon, of certain individual, while some believe that Binance listing of Pi would attract more buyers, and which increasing demand and potentially stabilizing or boosting the price. Users also emphasize that Pi holders who are believers would hold long term rather than selling early enough. But the long-term goal for Pi is beyond mere the exchange listing, as I see it. It should be about the utility and the widespread adoption. Then those who are skeptical about what is on right now, there is a concern that a Binance listing could turn Pi into a seller's market, and whereby early adopters quickly will cash out, leading to a price collapse. And some also are arguing that instead of focusing on Binance, Pi network should prioritize developing real-world use cases and ecosystem utilities. But then the strategic timing of Pi listing of Binance, I beg your pardon, of Binance listing Pi on Pi Day, which is the 14th of March, just a couple of days from here now. One interesting theory behind this being discussed is that the Binance is strategically waiting for Pi Day on March 14 to announce their listing of Pi. Now, why precisely March 14? The date actually represents the mathematical constant Pi. The word Pi, it represents the mathematical constant which aligns with Pi network's branding and could be a major marketing move. Now, Binance has been teasing Pi a couple of days now, the Pi network itself, in various ways, including the social media polls, where the majority of users voted in favor of listing Pi, of Binance listing Pi. Then why Binance needs Pi more than the Pi needs Binance. I believe that Binance actually needs Pi more than the Pi network actually needs Binance, because some are arguing that Binance benefits more from listing Pi than Pi, but than vice versa. And the Pi community is so massive, with millions of users worldwide. So a listing would drive significant trading volume to Binance automatically. And you know that Binance has a history. Yes, Binance could capture a new wave of retail traders who are currently engaged in the Pi ecosystem. And definitely this aligns with Binance's history of listing promising blockchain projects to attract liquidity and also user activity in certain ways. Yes, and it's quite so predominant, very important. And now further to this, there has been some report from the Binance Square on Pi network listing. There have been various Binance Square reports discussing Pi network's potential listing precisely, and this focuses on some key factors that has to do with the approach to Pi network. Binance has a history of listing projects that show strong user adoption, that also has liquidity potential and real-world applications. Pi network in itself is unique because of its massive pre-market user base, but its lack of open mainnet at a time like this for now raises some concerns about its readiness for exchange trading. So in the light of this, there are some considerations for listing Pi on Binance. Despite that we saw the green light coming, there are some regulatory compliances that Binance follows. They follow strict listing procedures, and then they may be ensuring Pi meets compliance requirements before they finally list Binance. I mean, before they finally list Pi. On their channel. Then the liquidity and the demand also is very important, because Binance listings depend on projected trading activities, and Pi's vast user base is suggesting high liquidity potential. The blockchain readiness is another clue, since Pi's mainnet is still partially closed. Binance might be waiting for full integration before listing that particular coin. Now, for the record, or for the availability of doubt, what are the real potential impact if Binance has to list Pi? There are possibly two scenarios to watch or be considered here: the positive outcome and the negative outcome. In the positive outcome, we talk about the bullish case, where there is going to be an increased visibility and adoption of Pi network globally and massively. And what that means is that more traders and investors entering the Pi ecosystem is going to be massive. Then there would be high demand, leading to a price increase on a bullish case. And in that vein, the Pi holders would definitely benefit from higher valuations if that demand is sustained. So if you look at it holistically, the visibility of an adoption of Pi network is going to be increased. More traders will flush in, and more investors will enter into the Pi ecosystem. Then there will be high demand, leading to a price increase. And this is definitely going to impact on those who sell or who are holding the Pi network at that time, because when they sell, definitely they get high profit in return. Now, the other scenario, which has to do with the negative outcome, which when we talk about the bearish case, it encompasses a flood of early miners that are selling Pi as soon as it is listed. And what this means is that it will cause an immediate price drop. Now, Binance treating Pi as a speculative asset rather than a serious blockchain utility project right now is a concern. So short-term volatility and uncertainty in price action might surge up just because of the bearish case if it is on a negative term. Now, having said this, there is something very important that Pi holders should do. If you are one of such that is holding this asset, yes, Pi is an asset. So if you are one of the person holding it, I think I can wish you congratulations. I have a friend of mine holding around 1,500 Pi that has been released to him. So, and it's a step in the positive direction. So, if you are holding Pi, what should you do right now? I want to advise: hold and lock up strategy. I'm not saying you should lock up everything. No, that is if you have more in number. You are not to sell. Some are offering to buy for 2,005. Some are offering to buy for 3,000. I've even had some opting to buy for 4,000 within Abuja metropolis. 4,000. And you should know what that means for someone holding like 1,500 Pi. That's you're a millionaire. You understand? So, but I strongly advise against you selling early. Those who sell immediately after listing may regret it later than when Pi reaches a higher value. Now, if you want to take profit wisely, yes, it's a strategy. Okay? You can, especially if you have a volume of Pi in your wallet. Now, a balanced approach is very important. So taking profit on initial gains, yes, is quite so important. So, but keeping a portion for the long-term growth of Pi's ecosystem and your benefit is of also a wise decision. So, I advise that you should wait for real utility strategy. It's quite going to pump. I understand that some argues that Pi's true value lies in its use cases and not in speculative exchange trading. So instead of you rushing into an exchange listing right now, which was listed on the 20th, of last month, and then there's a lot of selling in the air. That's why the price is actually crashing and dropping down. Pi should possibly right now, focus on increasing real-world adoption, such as the businesses accepting Pi for goods and services, and this is where use cases comes in large volume. But then on a final thought, and then this is the bigger picture here for Pi's network. Binance listing is an important milestone, but it should not define Pi's success. That's what I feel. It should not define Pi's success. Binance has a history, but they should not define the success of Pi. The true measure of Pi's long-term value will lie in its ecosystem. It will lie in the use cases, and it's also going to lie in the adoption as a real digital currency that the world can actually look at. Investors, you are one of the investors. You should be strategic in your dealing with Pi. Whether they choose to hold, you now as a person or any other person choose to hold or sell, or you're waiting for real Pi's world utility to develop further, you must approach every of these facets with dignity, with discretion, with decorum, with understanding. Now, this speculation about the Binance listing Pi on March 14, which is the Pi Day, is an highlight of the high anticipation surrounding this event. Whether or not Binance will list Pi, the most important factor right now remains that Pi's network long-term development and real-world usability is sacrosanct. Very sacrosanct. So in case you are holding Pi, you can sell some if you have in large quantity in case you need money. But if you don't and you are not in a rush, just keep your standard, all right? Hold to some of the Pis you are having and wait, because the value is going to increase, it's going to pump. And I see potential millionaires in the house. So congratulations, as Binance is showing some green light. The polls have been taken, and majority of the social media users are saying that Binance should list Pi. But I don't know what is still holding them back. That the poll is higher for those who want them to list and those who don't want them to list. So, but just hold your Pi and check in case you need to take profit if you have more than enough, and then do what is needful. Thank you very much. If you like this video, share, comment, and recommend to some other personalities out there. It's very important. Congratulations if you're a holder of Pi. Subscribe to our channel in case you have not done so, and hit the bell for more updates. Thank you and have a nice day.